Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Learn English with Chris Teacher. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to look at business English and, to be specific, emails. So we are going to look at construction of emails and we're going to look at replying to emails. Now this has been something that has been requested quite a few times on my channel. So if you like this video, please drop me a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so as stated before, we are going to be looking at business English and email construction and replying. So first of all, let's think about language. So what language are we going to use for emails? So if we are emailing in the workplace, we're going to use formal language, more polite language. And if we're emailing to friends, we're going to use informal language, more friendly language. So for this video though, we are only going to be looking at for business English purpose and for the workplace. So we're going to be using formal language. So let's get into today's video. So first of all, constructing emails. So like I previously stated, we are going to use formal language. So this part of email writing, so the construction of emails, is a lot harder than replying to emails. However, I'm going to use a simple layout template that you can copy if you need to. That will make it much easier. Let's have a look. So first of all, we're going to look at introduction. Then opening sentences, questions, closing sentences, and an outro. So first of all, let's look at our introduction, our greeting. So who is the email for? So when you're talking to someone for the first time that you email someone, you're going to put dear and then their title, so Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Doctor, and then you're going to use their family name. Now, after talking to these people a few times, you can change it and be less formal. And you can say dear and use their first name or their family name. Or you can say good morning, whoever. So an example for you, as seen on the screen, is dear Mr. Smith. Or when you've met them a few times, you'll say dear David or good morning, Henry. So the next section is the opening sentence. So for this we need a friendly question and we're going to introduce the subject of the email, the purpose. Why are we writing this email? So the opening question is used as a pleasantry and it's a type that you will use to determine how direct you want that email to be. So for example, if your opening questions are, I hope you're well, or I hope your day is going well, this is an indication that you're being very direct and that you want a fast response. You don't want to have small talk. However, if you use, how are you? How is your day going? That's a more friendly approach and that means you want to know how they're doing. It's more friendly. So it means you're taking time to understand how they're doing on that day. Now then you need to introduce the subject and the purpose for sending the email. So the example I've given here is I'm emailing you to find out the sales prediction for the financial year. So that is your opening sentence. You're going to lead in with an opening question about asking something personal like how are you, and then you're going to go straight into the purpose of the email. So this will explain the topics such as sale prediction for this example of the email. Next, we go into questions. So in this section, you need to be specific and ask relevant questions or demands about the topic. So for the question section, you need to use details to explain exactly what you want. So based on the question from the previous email, or the previous section, we talked about sales predictions. So I will come up with 3 questions for this and a closing section to the whole question part. So firstly, I would like to get the sales prediction of each individual department for this financial year. Next, could you get the year-on-year percentage growth of each department, and finally, can you find out each department's top performing product in terms of volume sold? Please can you get this information back to me by the end of the week? So here, I've given 3 questions that are precise and tells the receiver exactly what I want from them. And I also give a deadline. I want it by the end of the week. And this is when I need it by. So you could go on further and explain why you need this information, but on the final page of this section, I will put that in the email and I'll explain that to you more. So then we move on to the closing statement, or the closing sentence, sorry. And this is just a recognition of the help. So the closing statement will acknowledge the help that the receiver of the email will give you, and also make sure that you're open to receiving questions regarding the topic and give a friendly sign-off. So the example I've given, any help you can give me regarding this email will be greatly appreciated. Feel free to email me back if you need any more details about the tasks. Until we talk again, have a great day. So that's just nicely closed off the email. To the last section is the outro and the sign-off. So the outro is a respectful sign-off and stating who you are to the receiver, so they know who to email back. So your sign-offs could be kind regards, sincerely, or thanks in advance, and then your name. So like I said, this is very formal. If you're talking to your friends, you'll just sign off by maybe using your name or see you later. But in a workplace environment, that isn't very appropriate. So we say kind regards, sincerely, or thanks in advance. Okay, so let's have a look at our finished email and how it looks. So I've made up some names and I've made up some questions. Let's just read through it. So, dear Mr. Lee, I hope you're doing well. I'm emailing you to find out the sales prediction for the financial year. Firstly, I would like to get the sales predictions of each department for the financial year. Next, could you give me the year-on-year percentage growth of each department? And finally, can you find out each department's top performing product in terms of volume sold? The reason I need this information is for a presentation I need to give to the board of directors next week. So please can you get this information back to me by the end of the week? Any help that you can give me regarding this topic would be greatly appreciated. Feel free to email me back if you need any more details about the task. Until we talk again, have a great day. Kind regards, Chris Millard. Okay, so that's just the appearance layout of the constructed email, section by section. And you'll notice that I also put in here that the reason I needed the information, because it was for a presentation to the board of directors. So that just states the urgency of this email, and hopefully the receiver will come back with the information as quickly as possible. So that is the construction of an email. But how do we reply to an email? So, replying to emails. This section is much easier as you just have to repeat the language the sender used. We will use the same layout as the construction section, just replacing questions with answers. So it will look like this. First of all, introduction, then the opening sentences, answers, closing sentences, and outro. So the greeting. So copy the sender's language. So for greeting section of the reply, just read what the sender sent to you and repeat the language, just changing the names. So for example, if they put Dear Mr. Lee, you will put Dear Mr. Miller, because that is the person who sent the email. Then we go to opening sentences. So again, you're just going to copy the language that they used and reply to the question if they asked you one. So if the sender wrote to you, how are you? You're going to reply, I'm very well, how are you? However, if the sender just wrote, hope you're well, your reply can just be, hope you're well as well. So you just repeat what they say. So very simple. Then we go into answers. So this section, you just have to answer what the questions that the sender has asked you. So if you don't understand what the sender is asking for, just email back asking for clarification around the question that you're stuck on. So for this section, like I previously mentioned, you're just going to answer what the sender asked you. So for example, If the sender asks you for your opinion on a work issue, you should just give an honest but respectful answer. So for our example, the sender wrote, I'm just going to give you one of the questions out of the 3 that they asked. I'm just going to give you one, which is, next, could you get the year-on-year percentage growth of each department? So your reply would be, after looking at the data we have available, you can see the YOY growth of each department is, and I've just made up the figures here, so household 20%, produce 5%, electrical 35%. Now you'll notice in my reply, so they put year on year, I just reply back YOY, and that is just some business jargon. So if you work in business, you know year on year, YOY, it's the same meaning, just shortened. So that's how you answer. You just answer each question with the correct information, and then you move on to the closing statement. So this is very similar to the closing statement of the construction closing statement. So for this section, you just want to acknowledge the sender's email and state if they want any further assistance, and also use a friendly sign off similar to that the sender gave you. So if they said, any help you can give me regarding this email would be greatly appreciated, feel free to email back if you have any more details about the task. Until then, have a great day. So your reply should be, or can be, I hope this information is helpful to you. If I can help with anything else, please let me know. Have a great day. So very, very simple. And then we come to the outro. Again, you're just going to sign off, copying the language the sender wrote to you. So in our earlier email, the sender put kind regards, Chris Millard. So you'll just write again, kind regards, Jamie Lee or Mr. Lee. So then it comes to our final email and how our appearance is to the email that got sent to us before. So I'll split the screen in 2 now. So you'll see on the left, you should see the constructed email, and on the right, you'll see our reply. So I'm just going to read out the reply. So, dear Mr. Millard, I hope you're doing well. I am emailing in response to the questions you have asked me in the previous email. First of all, the sales prediction for each department is below. Household, $20 million, produce, $8 million, electrical, $50 million. Next, after looking at the data we have available, you can see the YOY growth of each department. Household is 20%, produce is 5%, and electrical 35%. And your last request was our top performing products from each department. Those are households is planters, produce is bananas, and electrical is vacuums. I hope this information is helpful to you. If I can help with anything else, please let me know. Have a great day. Kind regards, Chris Millard. Now, for this section, you'll notice for the answer to the first question and the second question that I wrote the household, produce, and electrical in one line. That's just because I ran out of space. But to make it more prominent, as I have already, I put it in bold writing, made it thicker and darker, and also I would put it in a list format, like I did for the third question. But because I ran out of space, I had to put it in a line. So that is emails. I hope that is helpful to you. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below and ask me any questions or queries you have. And until next time, have a great week. Bye.